Hare Krishna to all the dear devotees. Danvat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Bhavagari Prabhu. Danvat Pranam. Hari Hari Bol to Pawan Prabhuji for leading the chanting this morning. Okay, we'll start with our Mangalacharan and then Vaishnava Bhajan and then reading. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyadadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktabinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay, so I posted the link in the chat. We're continuing with our prayers glorifying Shri Shikshashtakam by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, verse number 7. Meenakshi Mohini would like to sing today, so let me...
Hare Krishna. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishayitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam Govinda virahena me. Ashlish. Okay, sorry, I have to read this. O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. Gaite gaite nama ke dasha hoilo Krishna nitya dasa moi hridaya sfurilo Janilam maya pashe ejada jagate Govinda virahe dukkha paina namate Araje samsara mora nahi lagi bhalo Kaha jai Krishna hiri ichita vishalo Kandite kandite mora akabari shoe Varshadhara hino chakshe hoilo udoe Nimishe hoilo mora satayuga sama Govinda viraha ara sahite akshama Shunaya dharatala chodite dekhiya Parana udasa hoye ke kori sthira nahi hoya Jivana nahi koroya Brajabasi gana mora prana rakho Dekhao Shri Radhanathe Bhagati Vinoda Minati Maniya Lavitare Sati Shri Krishna Vira Ara Sahite Napari Parana Chadite Ara Dina Duichari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama ठाकुर माशा की जय, शिष्टाष्टकम की जय,
गौरंग महाप्रभु की जय, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anybody would like to read the translation? Arti Mataji, you want to read it today?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay,
Yes.
Prabhuji. Translation. What was my condition after repeatedly chanting the holy name? The realization that I am the eternal servant of Krishna spontaneously became manifest within my heart. I realized that I was ensnared in the noose of Maya's illusion, being trapped within this dull mundane universe, and that I simply experience misery in various ways due to separation from Lord Govinda. Furthermore, I realize that I do not like this worldly existence. Where can I go to see Krishna? This was my great anxiety. Crying and crying, tears poured from my eyes, appearing just like torrents of rain in the monsoon season. Unable to bear separation from Lord Govinda any longer, for me the passing of a moment became like 100 long ages. Unable Sorry. As I look about in all directions, the surface of the earth appears to be void, and my very life breath feels empty. What am I doing? What am I doing? I do not feel at all tranquil, and the life within my body is slipping away. O residents of Brajadam, please save my life and show me the Lord of Sri Radha. Oh, please consider the prayers of this Bhakti Vinod and take him into his company. I am unable to further tolerate this separation from my Lord Krishna and am ready to give up my life in 2 days for 2 days or so. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Arti Mataji and Meenakshi Muni, for the beautiful recitation and translation. Anything you want to share, Mataji? Anything you liked from this bhajan?
Shri Prabhuji, the whole version is so beautiful. Like the mahima of chanting is shown here. Like Bhakti Vinod Thakurji is saying that before after he rapidly chant, what realization he's going through, like he realized that he was in mundane universe within the illusion of Maya, and then when he's chanting, tears are pouring automatically from his eyes like rain. That is a beautiful example, that rain, like rain in the monsoon season, it keeps on coming uh, off and on, and then the same way the tears are coming, uh, and then he's requesting the residents of Brajadam that to show him and save his life, show him the Sri Sri Radha Rani. This is a beautiful explanation, which maybe who is doing uh, chanting without offense can experience. But I can say about myself, I'm I sometimes not sometimes, most of the times I get distracted. Then again and again I have to bring back my mind that okay, chant with focus and all. And like Janardhan Maharaj in last class, I asked question that I always get distracted. He said it happens with everyone. Just before, uh, just sleep when you are sleeping. Before like before sleeping, just pray to Lord Krishna to help you focus in chanting, and then try to do chanting without any offense. Uh, Trying that, but still distraction is still there. Now I was just thinking, okay, I can do one thing. I can where I am chanting, I can put Lord Krishna's pictures and Hare Krishna Maha Mantra on the wall, so that whenever I get distracted, I just look around and bring back my mind to chanting. So yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, beautiful reflections. Thank you for sharing. Yes, that's a struggle that all of us go through, as Maharaj was saying. Yes, everybody. But like we see again and again when we read these pastimes, these leelas, how the Lord, showed that through his devotees that, after struggle, when we achieve something, then it becomes so much more sweeter, right? So if everything was so easy, if we achieve Krishna so easily, just to achieve things in material world, we know how much we have to struggle and how much we have to endeavor, right? But for spiritual happiness, we have to endeavor with enthusiasm, determination, and patience, as Sri Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrita. So yes, and when we achieve the Lord, after that endeavor, with enthusiasm, determination, and patience, then the fruit, that we'll achieve of pure love will be so much sweeter. So the Lord shows through his devotees, be it Pandavas, how much the struggle they had to go through, or so many other devotees we see, they all endeavored so much of labor and pain. But the Lord is teaching us through their example, so we can always remember them. And like you said, chanting, yes, mind will always get distracted, but we can focus the mind, we can bring it back. That means we are higher than the mind, we can control the mind, and since you are already doing that, that means you are already making progress. So Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so yes, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying, that he is longing to see the Lord, and he's praying to the Brajavasis. So let's continue chapter 11 of Krishna book. As we saw yesterday, Krishna was drowning the Brajavasis in pools of ecstasy with his sweet pastime, sweet leela as a little child, right? So like yesterday when we were reading, we were remembering, yes, the whole Damodar leela was coming, the whole deliverance of Nalkuvira Manigriva, everything is there in the Damodar Ashtakam, right? So iti drakso leela bir ananda kunde sagosham nimajjantam akhyapayantam. So the Lord is drowning the inhabitants of Vraja in pools of ecstasy by his sweet little pastimes as a little child, baby child. And then Kuvirat Majavabadda. So that verse is also there in Damodar Ashtakam, where the glories of Lord pulling down the two Arjuna trees and liberating Nalakuvira and Manigriva. Right? So all of those leelas we saw yesterday, and then how that sweet leela of the fruit seller, where she was captivated by the Lord's little child's beauty, and just with few tiny grains that she took from the Lord, her whole basket was filled with jewels. So that is how the Lord is. He can give so much in return when we put little bit of effort, right? So with our little effort for chanting, we can continue to get blessings of the Lord. So let's continue from here, chapter 11. Okay. Yeah, Meenakshi Mohini would like to read. If anybody else would also like to read, you can be ready after that. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. As soon as Krishna and Balram heard that Nanda Maharaj was waiting for them and could not take his food in their absence, they started to return. Their playmates complained, "Krishna is leaving us just at the point when our playing is at the summit. Next time we shall not allow him to leave." His playmates then threatened not to allow him to play with them again. Krishna became afraid, and instead of going back home, he went back again to play with the boys. At that time, Mother Yashoda scolded the children and told Krishna, "My dear Krishna, do you think that you are a street boy? You have no home. Please come back to your home. I see that your body has become very dirty from playing since early morning. Now come home and take your bath. Besides, today is your birthday ceremony. Therefore, you should come back home and give cows and charity to Brahmanas. Don't you see how your playmates are decorated with ornaments by their mothers? You should also be cleansed and decorated with nice dress and ornaments. Please, therefore, come back Take your bath, dress yourself nicely, and then you may go on playing. In this way, Mother Yashoda called back Lord Krishna and Balram, who are worshipable by great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. She was thinking of them as her children. When Mother Yashoda's children, Krishna and Balram, came home, she bathed them very nicely and dressed them with ornaments. She then called for the Brahmanas, and through her children she gave many cows in charity for the occasion of Krishna's birthday. In this way, she performed the birthday ceremony of Krishna at home. After this incident, all the elder cowherd men assembled together and Nanda Maharaj presided. They began to consult among themselves how to stop the great disturbances in Mahavan on account of demons. In this meeting, Upananda, the brother of Nanda Maharaj, was present. He was considered to be learned and experienced, and he was well-wisher of Krishna and Balram. He was a leader, and he addressed the meeting as follows. My dear friends, now we should leave here for another place because we are continually finding the great demons are coming here to disturb the peaceful situation. They are specially attempting to kill small children. Just consider Putana and Krishna. It was simply by the grace of Lord Hari that Krishna was saved from the hands of such a great demon. Next, the whirlwill demon took Krishna away into the sky, but by the grace of Lord Hari he was saved, and the demon fell down on a stone slab and died. Very recently, this children was playing between two trees, and the trees fell down violently, and yet there was no injury to the child. So Lord Hari saved him again. Just imagine the calamity if this child or any other child playing with him were crushed by the falling trees. Considering all these incidents, we must conclude that this place is no longer safe. Let us leave. We have all been saved from different calamities by the grace of Lord Hari. Now we should be cautious and leave this place and reside somewhere where we can live peacefully. I think that we should all go to the forest known as Vrindavan, where just now there were newly grown plants and herbs. It is very suitable for pasturing ground for our cows, and we and our families, the gopis with their children, can very peacefully live there. Near Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, which is very beautiful, and there are newly grown grass and fodder of the animals, so there will be no difficulty in living there. I therefore suggest that we start immediately for the beautiful place, as there is no need to waste any more time. Let us prepare all our carts immediately, and if you like, let us go, keeping all the cows in front. On hearing the statement of Upananda, all the cowherd men immediately agreed. Let us immediately go there. Everyone then loaded all their household furniture and utensils onto the carts and prepared to go to Vrindavan. All the children, women, and old men of the village were arranged on seats, and the cowherd men equipped themselves with bows and arrows to follow the cart. All the cows and bulls were placed in the front along with their calves, and the men with their bows and arrows surrounded the herds and carts and began to blow on their horns and bugles. In this way, with tumultuous sound, they started for Vrindavan. And who can describe the damsels of Raja? They were all seated on the carts and were very beautifully dressed with ornaments and costly saris. They chanted the pastimes of Lord Krishna as usual. Mother Yashoda and Mother Rohini were seated on a separate cart, and Krishna and Balram were seated in their laps. While Mother Rohini and Yashoda were riding on the cart, they talked to Krishna and Balram, and feeling the pleasure of such talks, they looked very, very beautiful. In this way, after reaching Vrindavan, where everyone lives eternally, very peacefully and happily, they encircled Vrindavan, drew all the carts together in a half circle, and in this way constructed a temporary residence. When Krishna and Balram saw the beautiful appearance of Vrindavan, Govardhan Hill, and the banks of river Yamuna, they felt very happy. As they grew up, they began talking with their parents and others in childish language, and thus they gave great pleasure to all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Soon Krishna and Balram had grown sufficiently to be given charge of the calves. Cowherd boys from the very beginning of their childhood are trained to take care of the cows, and their first responsibility is to take care of little calves. So, along with the other little cowherd boys, Krishna and Balram went into the pasturing ground and took charge of the calves, and there they played with their playmates. While taking charge of the calves, sometimes two brothers played on their flutes, and sometimes they played with amalaka fruits and bale fruits, just as small children play with balls. Sometimes they danced, made tinkling sounds with their ankle bells. Sometimes they made themselves into bulls and cows by covering themselves with blankets. Thus Krishna and Balram played. The two brothers also used to imitate the sounds of bulls and cows, like two bulls fighting. Sometimes they used to imitate the sounds of various animals and birds. In this way, they enjoyed their childhood pastimes, apparently like ordinary mundane children.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anybody else would like to continue? Yeah, Mataji, please. Go ahead. Yeah.
Once, when Krishna and Balram were playing on the bank of the Yamuna, a demon of the name Vatsasura assumed the shape of a calf and came there intending to kill the brothers. By taking the shape of a calf, the demon could mingle with the other calves. Krishna, however, specifically noticed this and he immediately alerted Balram about the entrance of the demon. Both brothers then silently approached him. Krishna caught hold of the demon calf by the two hind legs and tail, whipped him around very forcibly, and threw him up into a tree. The demon lost his life and fell down from the top of the tree to the ground. When the demon lay dead on the ground, all the playmates of Krishna congratulated him. Well done, well done. And the demigods in the sky showered flowers with the great satisfaction. In this way, the maintainers of the complete creation, Krishna and Balram, used to take care of the calves every day, beginning in the morning, and thus they enjoyed their childhood pastime as cowherd boys in Vrindavan. One day, all the cowherd boys went to the bank of the river Yamuna to water their calves. When the calves drank water from the Yamuna, the boys also drank. After drinking, when they were sitting on the bank of the river, they saw a huge animal which looked something like a heron and was as big as a hill. Its top was as strong as a thunderbolt. When they saw that unusual animal, they became afraid of it. The name of this beast was Bakasur, and he was a friend of Kamsa. He appeared on the scene suddenly and immediately attacked Krishna with his pointed, sharp beak and quickly swallowed him up. When Krishna was thus swallowed, all the boys headed by Balram became almost breathless, as if they had died. But when Bakasur demon was swallowing up Krishna, he felt a burning, fiery sensation in his throat. This was due to the glowing effulgence of Krishna. Demon quickly threw Krishna up and tried to kill him by pinching him with his beak. Bakasur did not know that although Krishna was playing the part of a child of Nand Maharaj, he was still the original father of Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe. Mother Yashoda's child, who is the reservoir of pleasure for the demigods and who is the maintainer of saintly persons, got hold of the great gigantic heron or by the two halves of his beak and before his cowherd boyfriends bifurcated his mouth just as a child very easily splits a blade of grass. From the sky, the denizens of the heavenly planet showered flowers like the malika, the most fragrant of all flowers, as a token of their congratulations. Accompanying the showers of flower was a vibration of bugles, drums, and
Bugles. Bugles.
bugles, drums, and conch shells. When the boys saw the showering of flowers and heard the celestial sounds, they were struck with wonder. And when they saw Krishna freed from the mouth of the great demon Bakasur, all of them, including Balram, were so pleased that it seemed as if they had regained their very source of life. As soon as they saw Krishna coming towards them, they one after another embraced the son of Nanda and held him to their chests. After this, they assembled all the calves under their charge and began to return home. When they arrived home, they spoke of the wonderful activities of the son of Nanda. When the gopis and cowherd men all heard the story from the boys, they felt great happiness because naturally they loved Krishna. And by hearing about his glories and victorious activities, they became still more affectionate toward him. Thinking that child Krishna had been saved from the mouth of death, they looked upon his face with great love and affection. They were full of anxiety and could not turn their face from the vision of Krishna. The gopis and the men began to converse among themselves about how wonderful it was that child Krishna had been attacked in so many ways and so many times by so many demons, and yet the demons themselves had been killed and Krishna had remained uninjured. They continued to converse among themselves about how so many great demons in such fierce body had attacked Krishna to kill him, but with the grace of Hari, had not been able to cause even a slight injury. Rather, they had died like small flies in the fire. Thus, they remembered the word of Garga Muni, who had foretold by dint of his vast knowledge of the Vedas and astrology that this boy would be attacked by many demons. Now they were actually seeing that this was coming true, word for word. All the cowherd men, including Nanda Maharaj, used to talk of the wonderful activities of Lord Krishna and Balaram, and they were always so much absorbed in those talks that they forgot the threefold mystery of this material existence. This is the effect of Krishna consciousness. What was enjoyed 5,000 years ago by Nanda Maharaj can still be enjoyed by Krishna conscious person simply by talking about the transcendental pastimes of Krishna and his associates. Balram and Krishna enjoyed their childhood pastime imitating Lord Ramachandra's monkeys, who constructed the bridge over the ocean, and Hanuman, who jumped over the water to Ceylon. They used to imitate such pastime among their friends and so happily pass their childhood life. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedant's purport of the 11th chapter of Krishna killing the demons Vatsasura and Bakasur. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ati Mataji. Yes. Anything you liked from today's reading? Reflections?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Like they all know that this child has been attacked by so many demons. Still, they do not believe and pray to Lord Hari to save their child. So, and they remember the words of Garg Muni. Um, Still, they don't understand, or maybe Krishna wanted to enjoy those pastimes. That's why the influence of Maya Devi, and they don't like consider it as Lord, that it is that Krishna is Lord himself. Yet they pray to Lord Hari that they believe that Lord Hari is saving Krishna from demons. And the pastime of killing Bakasur and Vatsasura, yeah, that was wonderful. Like Krishna, then in the last we learned that Lord Krishna and his cowherd boys, they like imitate Ramchandraji's pastimes. And yes, we imitate Lord Krishna's pastime during Janmashtami, and thus not imitate but try to play through kids. So yeah, that is wonderful. Today we write about two wonderful pastimes about Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes, all the pastimes that the Lord is enacting, of course, when Krishna comes, like we say, he's a master stroke player. With one master stroke, he achieves so many results, right? So we try to do one thing at a time. We try to do more things at a time. We struggle, but yeah, Krishna can, like you said, yeah, he wants to give pleasure to his devotees. That is a prime motive why he comes. But then side effect is also killing all these demons, so that the burden on Mother Earth is removed. Right? So that is also kind of helping his devotees in one sense. But yeah, just by and that Maya Devi that you're talking about here is different. Right? That's the Yoga Maya. Right? The Yoga Maya is the one in the spiritual world. So of course, where Krishna is there, that is spiritual world. What we have here in the material world is the Mahamaya. Right? So Mahamaya Devi takes care of Durga Devi takes care of the material world, but Yoga Maya is specifically serving the Lord in the spiritual world, the Lord and his devotees. So yes, the Ananda Maharaj, Mother Yashoda, they wanted to enjoy the Vatsalya Bhav, right? If they know that Krishna is the Lord, like Devaki, Mother Devaki, she knew Krishna as Lord, so she was always having that feeling of awe and reverence towards the child, right? She never was able to get the feelings of true motherly affection, right? But Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they wanted to have that, so Krishna always wants to reciprocate in that way with his devotees. So that is why he didn't want anybody to know that he is actually the Supreme Lord, Sri Hari himself, that they are trying to worship. So yeah, that was the mood. And yes, all these other, even the demons, everybody is just playing their part. It's this world, like you were asking yesterday, how did we come here and how did we fall down? So again, like the Acharyas explained, I think Meenakshi Mani was telling me that she already messaged you, but yeah, that yes, with Ashtatasya, as living jiva, living entities who are marginal energies of the Lord, we have the choice to choose whether we want to take association of the spiritual energy or the material energy, right? So the main thing there is basically our free will. So Krishna, because we are part and parcel of the Lord, we also have independence and free will, just as Krishna has, right? So Krishna has everything in unlimited quantities, we have things in limited quantity, but we always have our free will. So we can choose as jivas whether we want to take association of spiritual energy or the material energy. If we want to lord it over, sometimes we may have that feeling that Prabhupada explains many times in many letters. He has written to his disciples who have asked the similar question, that why did Krishna allow us to do this? Like, why, even if this is wrong, then why did Krishna not prevent us from falling down, right? Or why did he not check our feelings, check our thoughts, because he is the Supreme Lord. But then Prabhupada always says that same thing, that ultimately, we have minute free will, independence, and that is something that is unique and that is available to each one of us as our constitutional, right that Krishna has given us. So some jivas, some living entities, very little, he says, Prabhupada says many letters that, it's very less people, very less percentage. Sometimes he says like, less than 10% of jivas are the ones who take the association of the lower energy, material energy. So that's how they come here into. But actually, even here also, it's a very deep thing. But like we are all, Prabhupada says sometimes, we are nitya baddhas, and then we have to get to the state of nitya siddhas. But again, the nitya baddha means we are nitya, we are eternal. But baddha means it is just that we are covered by Maya temporarily. And once the Maya's covering is gone, then we become siddha. Right? So it is almost like we are in a state of sleeping. Like when you're sleeping, you don't know what you're doing, right? You're kind of covered. You may be thinking so many things while you're asleep in your dreams, which may not be true. So Prabhupada also gives the example of the shores and the ocean. Like the shores on a beach, sometimes when the waves come, they're covered by water. And when the water recedes, then there again, you see the sand. So like that, we are kind of in a temporary dreaming state right now, because we are covered by Maya. That is why this world is called temporary and illusionary, right? Dukhalayam ashashvatam. But as soon as we awake from this sleep, from this dreaming state, then we will be back in our original constitutional position. So yeah, it's not, even though Krishna says that, once you return to my spiritual abode, like your question was, once we are there, how did we fall down? So that fall down happens because we get into this dreaming state. So we are not literally fall down, because even the material world is energy of the Lord. So we kind of with the Lord anyway, in 100% of the time. It's just that we are in the dreaming state right now. We are asleep in the lap of Maya Devi. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Jiva Jago, Gaura Chanda Bole. Right? So we are kind of asleep right now, and our soul is being awakened through these pure devotees when they come to awaken us as Jiva Jago, Gaura Chandra Bole. Kota Nidra Chot Jago Maya Pishachi Rakole. We are sleeping in the lap of Maya Devi right now. So yeah, but the whole thing is, and even though Krishna says you can come back to spiritual world, after this, still, because we are eternal, and through time immemorial, we have this eternal freedom, eternal free will, and because of that free will, we can still choose to fall down again in the future also, because Krishna never forces anybody, right? There is force, and that is not love. We have to be, when we love somebody, it is through our own free will, through our choice, right? So Krishna never forces anybody to love him, although he wants, as a supreme friend, supreme father, supreme lover, he wants all of us to be with him. But since we are eternal and we have eternal free will, we can still choose to look away from Krishna, right? So that happens, that may happen at any time in the eternality of the time that we are associating with the Lord, and that is when we get into this dreaming state. So hopefully that answered your question from yesterday. And relating to
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much for explaining so nicely.
And again, in there also, like, one thing I was thinking, how Krishna again is so merciful. Like, Krishna apna vachan, galat kar sakte hain. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that, once you come and you give up association of this material world, you come back to me, right? Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also to Arjuna, that Arjuna, you announce that Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashati. Why? Because when the devotee of the Lord says something, then the Lord will put all his energies to make that come true. He can make his own words become false, right? Like he says, you come to spiritual world and you'll never go back to the material world. But then that is Krishna's word. But then we as living entities may choose to still look away from Krishna, and then we come back to material world. But something Krishna's devotees say something, then it will never. So if we follow Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada says that yes, when you come back to me and come back to Krishna and the spiritual world, you will not go back, then that means 100% that is guaranteed, because Prabhupada said it. If we follow Srila Prabhupada's words and instructions, then for sure we will never come back, right? But if we try to do it in our own way, then yes, then there are chances that even if we go back to spiritual world, we may fall down. So yeah, that's why we should always follow the pure devotees of the Lord, through their Vapu and their Vani. Okay. All right. Anybody else would like to say anything? Share anything? Any other thoughts, reflections? Okay. All right. Then we'll pause here. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow is the, wonderful, auspicious beginning of Sri Purushottam month, Adhik Mas, as it is said, Purushottam Adhik Mas, which is like one extra month that gets added astrologically, as we are reading about Garga Muni, who was a perfect astrologer. So similarly, once in 3 years, this extra month is added, and originally this month was considered very inauspicious, but then Krishna bestowed, his mercy, and he made all his energies as part of this month, and that's why it's called Purushottam. It's given the name of the Lord himself. So it's very, very auspicious. As Kartik comes once in a year, Purushottam month comes once in 3 years. So it's even more potent and more powerful to bestow spiritual benedictions that the Lord gives in this month. So we can start to follow. I think Vishwanath Prabhu had shared that PDF in the Seva group, so we can read that and understand a little bit more about Purushottam month. And the whole point is that we should try to, whatever we are doing today, the sadhana, in our practice, our devotional services, we should try to do a little bit more, maybe one drop more. So if we're doing chanting 16 rounds, we can chant whatever 17 rounds. But yeah, it's all up to us. Whatever vow we take, we should try to fulfill that vow for the whole month. So what we should try to do is whatever is reasonable, whatever is achievable, we should try to do that much. And if we can overachieve, that is always good. But at least we should try to maintain that vow throughout the whole month. So we will try to do that starting tomorrow. So you can all think about what little additional, little extra that we want to do in this month, because again, this month, whatever we do, it pleases the Lord, multifold times, and we get mercy of the Lord, like that fruit seller got, just with one or few tiny grains. She got so much more, not just the jewels itself, but just the love that she experienced for the Lord. That is what we are all desiring for. So with following this month of Purushottam Mas, Adhik Mas, we can get Adhik mercy of the Lord. So with that, let's pause for today. Hopefully we'll see you all later today evening for our weekly gathering at the center. And then we'll continue again tomorrow. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.
Hari
Bol.
Hari Bol. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Have a
Thank you,
good day.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.